Hello, traders. Cousin Vinny coming to you from theclosingprint.com, Sunday, September 14th, 2025. In this edition of your weekend video newsletter, we'll discuss the all-time highs we've reached again for a sixth straight week. With September OPEX on Friday, that leaves us with 10 bullish indicators, 7 neutral, and 3 bearish. Bottom line, we'll start off the week with a bit of caution, while also considering some put plays or downside protection to start the week. With the S&P following a path higher for the past 6 weeks, it remains above the 10 EMA weekly, with the daily showing incredible strength in the interim. However, the problem is traders appear to be fairly complacent, with the New York FANG extended thanks to a big surge in Tesla and Nvidia back above its 50-day moving average. With VIX closing again at the lows for a 6th straight week as well. The Qs also saw strength, breaking to new all-time highs. Volume has been pretty stellar for the entire week, with small caps continuing their trend higher. We did close a bit lower on Friday with an inside day. Overall, the markets are looking pretty strong. While breadth continues to oscillate, S&P 500, mid-caps, small caps, and NASDAQ in descending order, oscillating around the zero line, but not giving us a sell signal per se. All things considered, New York Stock Exchange also made new all-time highs. However, we did close on a blue elder stick. That's telling us to consider a pause and reflect. New York Stock Exchange advanced decline continues to rise. It did turn lower, while the number of stocks making new highs versus new lows remains above the zero line. So it's this news that VIX is at lows and no one pricing in risk for the week ahead that will be a bit cautious to start off this week. With junk bonds at highs continuing to move along its 920 50-day moving averages, we'll be looking to biotechs and IWM for signals, as these risk on, risk off indicators are currently giving us a neutral signal, even though they are at highs, with Bitcoin also moving higher. Gold and silver are at highs, with silver breaking out again on Friday, showing a shift towards the safety trade as well, as commodities for the most part remain range bound and giving us one of those neutral signals going into this week. In addition to West Texas and Brent crude, both remaining below their 50-day moving average, obviously good for the consumer's pocketbook. That said, the 10-year yield continues its path lower, headed back down to the April 7th low, which would be good for IWM and the small caps, all things considered. So it's tantamount that we watch money flow this week and address any signs of weakness in the indices as we head into VIX expiration on Wednesday and FOMC. At the same time, the Japanese yen Australian dollar pair are moving lower. That's bullish for equities. No sign of stress here in the carry trade, while the US dollar remains below 100. This is good for U.S. companies that sell products and services overseas, so no stress here at the moment as the U.S. dollar remains range-bound below 100 over the last 10 weeks. Overall, bonds, currencies, and commodities are giving us neutral to bullish signals to start off on Monday. Overall, sectors are pretty strong, holding up and consolidating above their 20 and 50-day moving averages. We did note strength in semiconductors, communications, and tech last week, in addition to utilities, which are defensive in nature. Consumer discretionary moving higher as Tesla and Amazon make up nearly 50% of the weight of the sector. Small cap sectors are pretty much the same with the exception of consumer staples, which remains below its 20 and 50 day. 8 of the 9 sectors are holding up very well, and if the 10-year yield continues to move lower, it should help small caps into this OPEX week for September. Overall, sectors are neutral to bullish. Keep an eye on the stocks below on the IBD 50 list. Noteworthy: Palantir, Riot, Rocket Labs, and SoFi. NVIDIA also moved back above its 50-day moving average. Micron broke out as well. Hims and Hers looks like it could follow through this week as well. Gold stocks, those are all near highs given the strength in gold and silver. And then we have the Bollinger Band TTM squeeze scan as well as some Bitcoin candidates in cyan and in white on the third line respectively. Watch these for potential follow-through this week. Semis were very strong last week, considering Broadcom earnings Friday 2 weeks ago. Looks like consolidation in the short term, but semiconductors in general look pretty strong, with NVIDIA moving back above its 50-day moving average. Palantir showing strength. Rocket Labs reversing after an attack by shorts 2 weeks ago. Breaking out to new highs this week, most likely. Keep an eye on Rocket Labs with SoFi trending, just grinding along. This looks like a good trade as well. Life 360 trending after breaking above the 50-day moving average back in April. Micron with a breakout to start the week continues higher. Volume shows that institutions have been picking up shares. Always look for this signature. Above average volume. Clear sign that institutions are falling all over themselves buying shares. Doesn't mean chase it up here. Look for your next best entry, which would be a flag or a little pullback in the short term. Overall, chips look very strong, with BitDeer breaking out along with many of the Bitcoin related names like Bitmine, BITX, Riot, Ethereum, and the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust ETF. All of these look like they're going to follow through this week, especially now that Bitcoin is back above its 50-day moving average. We're looking for follow-through after this Sunday's consolidation of recent gains. We're looking for a higher high to start on Monday. As we look for many of these stocks listed below to follow through this week. Okay, traders, that's going to do it for me. This is Cousin Vinny coming to you from theclosingprint.com, September the 14th, 2025. Remember, we have OPEX this week on Friday, $6 trillion in gamma expiring. That usually leads to some volatility. In addition to VIX expiration and FOMC on Wednesday. People are not pricing in downside at the present time, so we will be looking for some put protection to start the week. I'll send out a watch list later tonight around 12 midnight on the East Coast, around 9 o'clock on the West Coast. Be sure to check your inbox for that later this evening. Take care, enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we'll see you in the morning. Ciao.